Tuesday show went better than I thought.
Good.
People seem to like our scene. They said it was raw.
They said I was a bitch.
Oh shit! Gniel hit 1,500 subscribers as Cult of the Hummingbird.
That's great. He's kicking ass.
Yeah. He's really benefiting from all the lunch therapy, I think. I see a real change in Gniel. For the better.
Honey.
Yeah?
There's something that I need to talk to you about.
What?
Scrolling through Facebook.
Yeah. I don't know. Look. Are you going to do this again? I'm just, I'm looking at Facebook. I'm just scrolling through it. I can listen to you.
But you can't really listen and scroll through. You can't really pay attention to what's coming out of my face.
I mean, I'm not really reading anything. I'm just scrolling through Facebook.
Okay, fine then. Whatever.
Not really even looking. I'm just, it's marketing.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to say? What you were going to say?
No.
God, I'm not going to play this game again.
It's not a fucking game. What's the point of me saying anything if you're just going to be looking somewhere else and literally reading something else?
I said I was listening. I'm listening. Sorry. Tell me. Come on, now you have to.
I don't have to do anything.
Well, you set it up like it's some, earth-shattering thing. Just tell me.
Okay. I'm just going to flat out say it.
Oh, God. Okay. I'm going to brace myself.
Well, do you want me to say it or do you not want me to say it?
No, I want you to say it. But
I don't have to say anything. That's my point. I don't have to say anything. It's totally fine if you don't want me to.
When your wife says I have something really important to say, she doesn't just say it.
Okay, all right, fine. I'll just say it. Lunch therapy is not actual therapy.
What?
You're not a therapist.
I know that.
You need a therapist.
Oh. I can't believe you're saying that. People look for my wisdom and therapeutic effect.
This is what's concerning me.
Well, I don't understand why you think I need therapy so bad. I'm perfectly sane.
Joel, I heard you.
What do you mean you heard me?
I heard you talking to somebody that wasn't there. Somebody called Boner or something. It was frightening.
Boney! Yeah, I was talking to Boney. I wasn't talking to Boner.
Whoever it was.
My sidekick.
They don't exist.
What do you mean, Boney doesn't exist? How else would how else would the show get done?
Who do you think Boney is exactly?
Boney is, he's my assistant. He handles the green room for my show. He does all the bumpers and the editing.
Honey, you don't have an assistant.
Yeah. What?
No. You go into the garage by yourself after work and you're there for 5-6 hours and you are doing all of it. The bumpers, the bookings, the green screen backgrounds, the finding the videos, booking the people, getting the dance break, getting the editing done, getting that's all you. You're doing that completely by yourself. And then I don't know what time you come in here, 6 a.m, and then you're up at 9, and then you're worrying about the episode. Honestly, honey, you've got to call the Southern California Counseling Center again and get back into therapy, please. I can't be the only one that you talk to about these issues.
You're being crazy. You're being a little crazy because I've got Boney, and he, I really could not get any of it done. I couldn't get any of it done without him.
Oh my God.
And then I've got the Bat, and there's Joe Fury, and it's all kind of a collaborative effort.
Honey, why won't you call SCCC?
Well,
why are you refusing to get yourself back into therapy?
I told you I called them and I left them a message and they never got back to me.
No, because that's so weird, because I talked to Janet. I asked her what was going on with you. She said that somebody over there sent you an email with some kind of a link to a form that you have to fill out again.
Oh, yeah, that. I got that thing.
Okay, so...
I have to fill out some kind of form.
Yeah.
And and it's like I'm starting all over again. It's like they don't even know who I am. And, I already pay like 5 times what you pay there. I don't know why. They just charge me 5 times as much, and now they're going to charge me more when I fill out that form. So I just can't afford it, okay? I can't afford it.
Joel.
What?
What did Rick Pagano say that Milton said
Rick
about
Pagano?
a successful acting career?
The casting director? Are you serious?
The casting director that was in Milton's class with me, what did he say about a successful acting career? What are the components of a successful acting career? Acting, admin, and attitude. Get your head on straight. Get your attitude in order. See a therapist, Joel.
My head
Because
is on
honestly-
fine. My head is on just fine. I've got this. I put whenever I'm feeling like my head's going to explode, I just put like a sock on it or a hat on it or, something like that. It keeps my head together. That's all the therapy that I need, okay? That's all I need. Just
Did
drop
you
that
really
thing on.
just say that the only therapy you need is to put a sock on your head?
Hey, it worked for my dad, He always when he was stressed out, he always put like this little cap on and he was good to go. People with heads should not throw stones. I'll tell you that. Should not throw stones at people's heads.
Get your ass in therapy before you really lose it.
I like her, Chol. She's strong, like Transylvanian woman or like Slovakian woman.
Yeah. Hey, you stay away from her, okay?
She's very pretty. She smells good.
She thinks I'm nuts.
Are you?
I don't know. What do you think?
What do I think? Well, I think you should get going, Chol, because your show already started.
It did?
Yes! There's many people. They're all waiting.
I totally lost track of time. I thought it was night or something.
Get going! Come on, get going!
Okay.
Come on, get going! You just can't hang around here all day like me! I'm going to go find out where that woman went.
I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 Oh man. Hey everybody, sorry I'm late. Yeah, I don't know, there's some, just having a meeting, had a big meeting, and now, I got my head on straight, ready for the show. I've got this incredible guest, Howard Aronin, on the show. He is a darling of the comedy community, and he's in the green room right now with Boney. I hope he is. Boney, is he in there? Oh yeah, he's in there. Okay, let's see who's here. Beautiful and nuts. Yeah, it's a dragon. It's a beautiful dragon that I've got today. I think the bat needs a flea collar. Oh man, the bat needs to get off the meth. Hey, meth. Oh my God, no meth in. There's no meth in lunch therapy, but there are there's some method acting perhaps. That's about it. Gorgeous background. It is the coolest dragon. I brought this here to you today from Pacoima. Yeah, I trained this dragon in Pacoima, and here he is. Howard Aronin is here. I'm going to get to it, but first we have to breathe, of course. Here we go. Okay, I got to calm down. I didn't get a chance to prep today, so this could be a crazy-ass show. But, we've got a contest. We've got Howard Ronin on the show. We've got hilarious. The dance break is going to be unbelievable. It's gonna knock your socks off, as they say. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. I can hear Howard breathing in the green room there. Unless he's choking out with Boney, I can't tell sometimes. Let it go. I mean, it's a similar kind of thing. They hold it and then they let it go. Yeah, it's very similar. I don't know. Therapeutic too, possibly. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Psychedelic Tuesday. I like that. We're going to have some psychedelic trivia later on in the show, and maybe somebody will win something. I don't know. But we've got to get into this thing because we've got a lot to do today. So one more time, in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Perfect. Let it go. Okay, moving on to the main event of the show here. I have Howard Ronin on here. He is, like I say, a darling of the comedy community. He's been doing comedy for a while here. He was a flight attendant for 35 years as well. So he has a lot of experience flying all over the world. He also has done shows at Flappers, the Ice House, the Improv, the Comedy Store, all the places around in Los Angeles. He's been in several short films. He's an actor. He's also a poet. Yeah, so we're going to get some poetry. Haven't really had a lot of poetry on the show, but perhaps Howard will treat us to some of that. I never asked him. Just asking him now, I suppose. He also is, he's good friends with Robbie Krieger of The Doors. I'm just saying that. I don't really know if that's true, but I've seen him near Robbie Krieger, and so I'm just going with that. And he is, I don't know what this means, but apparently he has raised 2 successful children. So, I mean, that's pretty incredible. All right, so let's get it going. Let's get Howard on the show. Without further ado, here he is, Howard Aronin.
Come on, Howard.
There he is.
Into the nose.
Did you breathe? Because it's very, very helpful. Very helpful to breathe.
I did.
Did you?
Are you? So you're not a therapist? I'm
not a licensed therapist. But I believe that what I do is therapeutic. At least.
Is that why I had to sign all that stuff?
That's right.
Because you're not.
I have you sign a waiver because there's nothing true in that statement about it being therapeutic. I have no idea, but I find it therapeutic to talk to delightful people such as yourself, Howard.
No, you said darling. You said it twice. Darling.
Yeah. Did you like that?
That's a word I haven't heard. I'm going to go with that.
I think it's good.
When you're my age, those kind of words are very positive, and I'll accept a darling here and there. When I was 15 or 20, I would have said, why did he call me darling? I don't like, but now.
But now you want to be that. Well, one of the things I've noticed, Howard, in the comedy community is when I say your name or say you're going to be on the show, people light up. They're like, oh, Howard, I know Howard. He's great. So I get the feeling, you're well known, and I do think you're the darling of the community. I mean, I'm gonna double down, triple down on that. How long? So were you really a flight attendant for 35 years, or is that just some kind of act?
That is not true. I am currently a flight
Okay.
attendant.
I like it.
So take the word past. It's now present. I've been a flight attendant for 37 years
Oh my God, that's great.
for a huge company that starts with the letter U.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say the name of it
Nope.
legally. It rhymes with divided, but I can't say the name of it. It's actually the opposite of divided.
I'm trying to do the
So.
theme song, but I'm doing a horrible time. I'm having a horrible time with it. Yeah.
I wrote that.
Oh my God, that's weird. I thought it was a famous Broadway composer, but I guess it isn't.
Oh yeah, that's true.
George Gershwin, perhaps. That's what I thought. I mean, I
It's
thought it
Gershwin.
was.
It's Gershwin.
It is. Oh,
It's
you
George.
can't- It's
George
hard
did
to remember which ones you wrote and which ones you didn't. Right? Yeah.
There's so many.
So many jingles.
But basically, that's 37 years doing that, and then comedy is another part of my life. But the flight attendant stuff paid the bills over the
I
years,
know
so
how
that's
that is. I know how
we go with
is.
that. But comedy was more of a hobby, but now it's time to
Vocation.
get going. It's time to.
It is time to get going. It is time to get going. Now, okay, so on the airlines, I'm wondering if you got your start on the
Yes.
airlines, because do you ever do those announcements? And you know how they're like super funny these days? Do you ever do those? We're like, everybody.
I have made funny announcements in the past.
Yeah.
I do very well on the plane as a funny person because, as you know, they're strapped in. They can't leave. They pretty much have to be an attentive audience. So that's half the
captive.
battle. Yes, that was comedy material. I think you could see when the comedy material comes in and when it's just me being myself. So I apologize. I won't do that again.
Just waft
That
in
was
and out.
so rude.
Just feel
I
free
don't know what got
to
over
just go in and out of the comedy. Now, just feel free to move about the cabin. So
Yeah.
here's my question. Should it be funny?
Oh,
when
this
you
is
get-
the question.
Well, yeah, here it is. Should it be funny when they do those announcements, or is that just totally inappropriate in this situation where we could all die?
Year 15 or 20 into the job, this little airline called Southwest came out of the blue
That's what I
and
thought.
started to become our competition. And
Yeah.
they were wearing shorts, and they looked like they were going to summer camp. And we were wearing the three-piece suits, and we would go down the terminal and we would march in unison like a team. And that bothered us. That bothered the big airlines to see this. What were they doing to our profession? Oh my God. And then they got on the PA with the funny announcements, which were, they would point out things, but they would make it kind of sexual or funny or odd. And I don't know. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it.
That's the end of my. That's it. I make funny announcements, but I could probably get fired, so I don't do
I
it.
think
That's the
United is the more
I'm
serious
beating around the
airline.
bush.
I think, it
I'm
always made
in
me
fear
nervous.
of my supervisor.
It always made me nervous when there's some jokester gets on there and starts joking. And then, and then maybe the pilot starts joking. And then I'm like, I think there are certain professions where they should be serious. Maybe doctor, you don't want your lawyer making funny jokes. Your computer guy, I've helped people with their computers. I never make jokes because I know when something goes terribly wrong, they're going to be like, ha ha, sure, Joel, whatever. Yeah, you lost all my data.
Yes.
Yeah, right, Joel. Or they'll be like this, ha ha ha, what did you just do? Like that. And then they'll get all serious. And then I'll be like, and I'll be over here. And they'll be like, you just deleted one of my files. There was a file there. And so that's a miserable, miserable experience. So how did you get into comedy, and when did you begin doing this stuff?
I started, I would say, in high school.
Yeah.
I was on sports teams, basketball and council and this and that. And they had the banquets. And at the banquets, I discovered roasting was something I was very good at. So I would roast players and teachers and faculty members, and the feeling of writing something in your house about an incident, a player, without being super offensive, and the next day going to that podium and getting a great response and people just going, wow, he's fun. That was it for me. I was hooked.
Yeah.
So, and also my dad had tons of comedy albums, and I was very, very excited about Jonathan Winters. Do you know who that is?
Of course.
And, albums.
Yeah.
And Woody Allen albums, not the movies.
Woody Allen was a hilarious stand-up. Yeah. And
so that's where it started. I would say high school days.
Bob Newhart. Do you ever listen to Bob Newhart?
Yes, he looked and sounded like my father.
Oh yeah.
He was dry, he was hilarious, and you never knew if he was joking or not.
Right.
I try to do that too
So
sometimes.
deadpan. Do you do that? You do deadpan humor like that on stage?
I do it all, Joel. I do it all.
scared.
Sometimes I come to the I would, for almost years, I would say I would come to the microphone, and it was actually insecurity. They didn't know this, but it was always got such a good reaction. I did it every time for several years, and that was I'd come to the microphone and say, I don't do comedy, I do poetry. Is that going to be okay with you people? Let's begin. And then I would take the book out and start doing poetry. And it was so unique and different, but it was really a crutch, but I didn't care. And I still do. I weave poetry in and out. I don't know what your question was.
Chuck is asking, are you from Georgia? I'm not sure why he's asking that. Maybe your southern drawl?
I'm not from Georgia. I know Georgia. Oh, you think I work for Delta? Is that why? Do you think that the U airline is... Okay, never mind.
Some people think the U airline is TWA. That's what they were guessing.
Yeah, we called them teeny weeny airlines. We were mean.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go into a clip of you doing your thing.
I'll come back.
And it's
okay.
All right, so here we go. This is Howard. Can you set this up? You're at the Burbank comedy. I don't know. It's like a competition.
This is the Burbank. It's a Burbank Comedy Festival. It was extremely exciting. There was over 700,000 participants, and they all performed in the same show. And I was number 11,006, and that's why everyone was paying attention.
11,006. I love the way you handle people. Anyway, let's take a look at it.
Well, there's been a lot of changes over the years for flight attendants. When I started flying, the call buttons would go off. The requests were very simple. In-flight magazine, pillow, cigarettes for my wife and children. It was a simpler time. It was simple. 34 years ago, we had smoking on the airplane. Anybody remember smoking on the airplane? No? Oh my God. You know who had to work in the smoking section? The junior flight attendant, young, brash, America's sweetheart, Howard Aronin was in the smoking section. I remember the lady that trained me. She said, Howard, welcome to the smoking section, Howard. Howard, look up, I'm doing an act over here, look. Hey, somebody else. Howard, oh boy, there's one rule about working in the smoking section, Howard. When the ashtrays are full, Howard, you gotta empty them.
The thing is, well, now we're in Mount Rainier National Park. The thing is, it cut off before you took the cigarette and put it on your butt. Now, is that...
I did? I have never done that, ever. Okay, you're right, I did that.
Is that something... I got to move off the National Park Service here. Hold on, let me get to here. I was, I've got some backups in case the internet goes out. I got all kinds of entertaining things that happen on this show. You got to be ready with the, when the internet decides to destroy you. Charles Goldsmith says vaping out your ass. Lauren Wesley Ackerman is here. He's a comedian as well.
Oh,
Chuck is
he's
inspired. Yeah, we got some comedians in here. Todd, smoking section was a farce. No barrier from smoking to non-smoking. It was all smoking. Yeah.
hello.
It totally was. You're in this tube in the sky. That was so
I
horrible.
got the black lung now. I've got the black lung
Oh,
for all those
God.
years.
That is awful. So you do actually write poetry though, right? I mean, that's a joke that you make. But do you also write poetry?
I 500 poems. I have song parodies, and I have silly poems about I have dirty poems, and I have spiritual poems, and I have my life as a child, and I try to weave them into my act, my show,
Yeah.
and segue it, and I'll stop. I'll do a bit about maybe I have glaucoma, and I talk about a little bit of drops in the eyelashes, and then I say, and I wrote a poem about it. And then I turn and I start reading a poem called I've Got the Glock. And it's a poem. And so
Don't
that's,
you think one of the things about being an entertainer and being a comedian and a host, because you do hosting too, is that you find that you have to bring like everything you have to it. Don't you think? I mean, like you think maybe you're not going to bring poetry to your stand-up, but it's like, nope, I got to do everything I can to entertain this crowd.
yeah,
And
you want to shine. You want to stand out a little bit.
I would like to know, well, Loretta here, who got us together, by the way. Thank you, Loretta.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. How do you know Loretta?
She went to my high school. We went to El Camino Real High School. Can I say that? In Woodland Hills.
Yeah.
She claims that she is from the first graduating class, and she has siblings that I knew and my brother knew. And out of the blue, she said, "Hey, I love this Joe Marshall guy. You're really a comedian? Maybe I can get you to get on his show."
Hell yeah.
And I said, "I'm not interested." So that's why I'm
Forget
here,
it.
because I thought there was free lunch involved, but
I
that
know.
didn't happen.
Everybody thinks that. That's how I reel them in. Everybody thinks there's free lunch and nothing.
But she loves you, and she's so enthusiastic about this, and
We love
I am
Loretta.
too.
love
I've
it.
really enjoyed this show.
Maybe we're the darlings of the comedy scene. Maybe we're both the darlings.
Darlings, absolute darlings.
Now, Loretta says, she said this a while back in the show. She said, "Is the handsome mustache a crutch? Are you shy?" Now we're getting into the therapy.
Now, when I do Zoom comedy shows, this was a crutch. I would hit my comedy background, and I would have the pillow guy back there right behind me, and I would say, "Everybody says I look like that guy. It's bullshit. Okay, I have the same mustache and the shifty smile, but other than that, oh, and also my nickname as a flight attendant was the pillow guy. I used to throw so that I'm phasing that out of my act because that was a crutch.
What happened? Is the pillow guy? You think the pillow guy is going to be around for a long time? I'm now looking for a picture of the pillow guy here.
Oh, I don't know what your audience is, so I'll be politically correct and say,
Yeah,
oh yes, he's fantastic.
we get all kinds here. There's no way I can get a picture of the pillow guy up here and still pay attention to the show. So forget it.
Yeah,
you all
yeah,
know
yeah.
what he looks like. Look at Howard. He looks like
He looks
Howard.
like this.
Do you do? Okay, so I have this picture here of you. Well, it's one of those situations where I had a picture of you, and then then I looked for it, and then I couldn't find it, and then I talked for a little while I was trying to find it, and then I did find it, and then it showed up on the screen. Hopefully, if the computer doesn't crash. Oh, here we go. So here you are, dressed as Mario from Super Mario Brothers. You look a lot like him too. You really pull it off. What is this situation here?
I have a very dear friend. His name's Kyle Kreis.
Yeah.
He runs Cosplay Comedy.
Yeah.
He said, "Howard, would you like to do a character for Cosplay Comedy?" This is when we could actually go into public. We didn't have to be on Zoom with masks and stuff.
Right.
So I said, "I don't know. I could be dad on South Park because he has a must. I look like Mario, so I went to Amazon and I ordered this outfit, and I have been Super Mario, and I do cosplay comedy. And when you do cosplay comedy, the audience assumes you are extremely knowledgeable about the character
Of course.
you are doing. And I don't play video games.
Oh, no.
I just went to the basics, and I just say hi, and I just give a rundown on his life and where he came from, and he has it. I have an enemy. His name is Bowser, and I do I don't know. And so all the cosplay audience members, they look at me as if you should not be in there unless you know more about Super Mario. And I give up prizes, and I'm hilarious, and I jump rope, and I say spaghetti. They don't care. They know.
They know.
They are serious. So I also do Fred Flintstone too.
Oh, you do?
He has no mustache.
And do you do
I do a mustache Fred Flintstone.
Wow. Do you do the Hey, David DeMont. Nice to see you. Yes. 1979. There you go. One of your peeps.
Very close friend of David, yes.
All right. Good to see him here. So maybe you should get yourself an old video game and start learning yourself some Super Mario Brothers. Is what I think, because I think there's a career in it. And the whole Fred Flintstone thing, I don't know, seems to be kind of going by the wayside lately. There are some kids that are probably hard pressed to tell you who Fred Flintstone is.
It was a cheap costume to get on Amazon, so I just got it. But I need to find another character that I didn't realize it until I was maybe 45, 50 years old. Yeah. I'm totally uninhibited. I will try anything. I will do cosplay. I will be an extra in a weird video and stuff. So I didn't realize that I don't care anymore. When you get to this age, you don't care. You just say, okay, where do I? Yeah. So I think it's a lot to do with breathing and spirituality and what you do at the beginning of the show. It's like, we're just energy. Right. Let's just go with it, enjoy, have fun, love life. So.
That's why I always do this. You know this? This gives you some perspective on life. Sometimes when I think, my life is super important, it's very important what I'm doing here on the planet. I look at this. And I also look at the chat room, see what the chat room's saying. So this is again, the European Southern Observatory made this film to give you some perspective on where we are in the universe, which is we're tiny, tiny, tiny. It's all about your perspective, though. I guess to an ant, we're huge. To my cat, we're gigantic. But to the universe, we are, I don't know, not so big. Can you tell me what you do? Do you brought this up? Do you do anything to keep your mind right? Doing all the things that you're doing. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of, even if you're an outgoing person, stand-up comedy takes a lot of gall. And takes a lot of preparation. And, it's a very time-consuming, very possibly risky profession. So what do you do to keep your head right?
Well, I would say that I'm not going back too many years. I'm going to say this pandemic has changed me in many ways. I have kind of an OCD lifestyle now where I do a meditation. I never used to meditate. I do it every day at the same time, except today because I'm on this show. Wow. And I have this routine where I write comedy for 1.5 hours. Nice. And I work out and I drink my little coffee drink, and it's very regimented, and yet it's been a big change. I'm kind of a tense, stressed person, and as you get older, it leaves you. It goes away, and you think, what is really important? And the littlest things used to get to me, and now you're like, that's the view you have. You look down, and you say, That was important to you?
Right.
What were you thinking when you were on the earth?
Right.
And when I turned 60, I'm 60 and I'm thinking, 60. Think about the number 60 when you're 15 and 20.
Yeah.
And here I am. And I feel I'm the exact same person inside that I was when I was this dumb little teenager listening to Pink Floyd and experimenting and this and that. I'm the same guy, but this body is a 60-year-old body. But believe me, I am totally immature. Hello.
More power to you. Isn't it great to have that perspective though, and have that kind of freedom? All of a sudden, it just really is kind of like, oh wow, I can do what I want to do, and not worry about what other people are going to think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal. So okay, I want to hear about the writing discipline because you mentioned it as well. Look at this. This is really giving us perspective. It's getting kind of crazy. This is us flying out. We have now left our galaxy, I believe, and we are just. I mean, this
Can I do the Star Trek sound? Can I go? Ooh, I can't. It's too high. Too high.
Yeah, definitely. You're
very
welcome
Star
to do
Trek.
that, of course. We all feel the same on the inside. Aging is a wild ride. Yeah.
Now, is that your wife?
Tomorrow you're gonna be dead. Kamala, yeah, that's her there.
She's a Lopez. She's not a Marshall.
She
Okay.
is a Lopez, yeah. The wolf. Lopez means wolf. There you go. Okay, so I've got to jump us into the contest because there is a contest.
Oh.
You had said that you enjoy music of the 60s and 70s, and I'm going to get us on over there. You made the
I changed my mind on the whole thing.
You made the mistake.
Just Beatles.
You made the mistake of claiming knowledge about something, and I got some of my friends to help me out to make a quiz, which I'm thinking maybe we might not get any of these right. It's very possible.
Oh, good.
Let me just I got to get these compliments out here. You look 30, Kamala. I miss the skinny fly girls, Chuck says. And everybody's thanking each other. Okay, so here we are. So this is the amazing trivia game that was written for me by the infamous and famous Tom Silvestri. Tom Silvestri, if you don't know who he is one of the most acclaimed story consultants in the motion picture and television industry today. He has
that guy.
Yeah, he's worked for over 50. I'm kind of looking at his bio here because I wanted to give you the gravity of what we're about to embark on here. He's worked for over 50 companies in Hollywood, and he went to NYU Film School. Now, this is going to give you some perspective on this quiz because Tom Silvestri, his favorite movie, if you can guess what his favorite movie is, I'm going to tell you because you're never going to guess what his favorite movie is. It's a movie called Petulia. You know the movie Petulia?
No.
Exactly. So
Did I lose?
that's
Did
what
I
we're
already
dealing
lose
with
the
here.
contest?
We're dealing with. We are kind of going to be in unknown waters, I think. But we've got the chat room to help us. This is the movie Petulia. It stars George C. Scott, Julie Christie. Apparently, it is one of the greatest films ever made.
Come on.
And Tom Silvestri he actually does screenings of the movie and will, tell you all the history of it. If you've ever heard of the famous video store called Vidiots, I don't know if it's around anymore, but he used to give lectures in the back on this movie, Petulia.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's what we're dealing with. So anyway, the other thing, though, is he is a super expert, as Kamala says here, on rock and roll. I mean, like, extreme expert on rock and roll. He saw Jimi Hendrix live many times, also independent films. Weird thing about him, too, is he also knows about football. He's like an encyclopedia about football, and he is a darling of the film world
He
and the
is
football
darling,
world.
this guy.
This is the new thing where we're going to call everybody darlings. Anyway, so here we go. Let's get on with this thing. And the great thing about this game is, Lunch Therapy has a cult. We're a cult of the hummingbird. And
I'm in.
Yeah. Well, you have no choice, really. You're already in. All right. I like it. And so some of our cult members, they filmed themselves asking the questions. So our first one here is Jose Salas. Here he is, and let's listen to the question.
He's got a guitar behind him.
One of
He's
the
good.
most famous
Oh, yeah.
British songwriting teams in 1960s and 1970s rock music fortuitously met when one said to the other, "I'm Gary and I write music," and the other replied, "I'm Keith and I write words." Who are these two men and what band did they form?
Gary and Pete, and they write music and songs, and they got together and they formed a band.
Gary?
What are some Gary?
Pete.
Gary Shandling?
Pete or Keith?
Oh,
Keith or Keith?
this
Do you say Pete
Oh,
or
I
Keith?
blew it. I showed the answer.
Procol Harum.
Procol Harum. You know Procol Harum?
So that's Gary Brooker?
Yeah, let's listen to what Jose says.
Gary Brooker and Keith Reid,
Yes!
whose collaboration as songwriters in Procol Harum was first hailed around the world by way of the band's 1967 worldwide hit single, A Whiter Shade of Pale.
Wow. That was impressive that you got his
I get
name. I got to say, that was
half a
super
point.
impressive. Let's see if anybody got it right. Todd Lee said Who, maybe The Who.
Because he said Keith.
Gary Pucker. Who?
Gary Puckett.
Yeah, that was Loretta's
And
good.
Union
too.
Gap.
You guys are good. Y'all are good. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next one here. I have the slogan: comedians trying to remember stuff. Here we go. So this is Chuck Goldsmith.
Oh, I know Chuck. He's from Georgia.
Is he from Georgia? Oh, you're just saying that.
Is that the guy that wrote? He's in the comments?
Yeah. He's the one who asked if you were from Georgia. I got it. You're on it.
Oh,
You're on it,
Like
man.
several of the Byrds' hit songs that are sometimes said to be inspired by the use of drugs, but in fact were not. The lyrics to The Fifth Dimension were actually inspired by one of the greatest scientists of all times, whose brilliant theories was Byrds' lead guitarist, Roger, now Jim McGuinn's, referencing in his lyrics for this 1966 song.
Who's the scientist that he was referencing? In the song, they don't even tell you what the song is.
the song is Turn, Turn, Turn.
I'll tell you what the
For
song
every
is.
season,
The song is
turn.
called.
No?
Oh, well, let's actually.
8 Miles High?
I think it's a song called Fifth Dimension.
Oh.
I might be wrong. No, you're right. I think it is 8 Miles High. Let's listen to Chuck and we'll find out. You're gonna see the answer. It's Albert Einstein.
The name of the song that Roger McGuinn referenced with the Byrds was released on an album by the Byrds called The Fifth Dimension in 1966, and the song was 8 Miles High.
Oh my God, he does it again. Oh. I can't even believe it.
Chucky!
Lauren guessed Isaac Newton, but then he said Albert Einstein. And the song is about Albert
I missed
Einstein.
that.
But that was pretty incredible. Chuck, good job out there sending us that all the way from Georgia. No, he's in Long Beach.
Oh, yeah, I want that shirt too.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to be dancing, Loretta. He's going to be dancing. All right, so let's go to the next one. So this is I believe this is Kyle Helf. Let's see. Oh no, this is Chris Shane. Chris Shane from Hollywood.
Toward the end of the Jimi Hendrix experience's Bold as Love, a harpsichord is played by Eddie Kramer, the engineer for the album Axis Bold as Love, on which the song appears. But Jimi Hendrix originally wanted one of England's greatest rock keyboardists to play the part. Who was it?
Nicky Hopkins.
Nicky Hopkins. I was thinking like Ray Manzarek or something. It's probably. Let's see.
Oh,
The answer is
Emerson.
Keith Emerson,
Keith
whose
Emerson.
highly eclectic band, the Nice Hendrix, had toured England, and who later went on to form Emerson, Lake...
Oh!
And Palmer.
Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. That's the one. For some reason, I cut it off because I'm a dummy. All right, so let's get to the next
The
one.
answer
He just passed away.
He did?
I
You
believe
do know
Keith
this
Emerson,
stuff. You
recently
do know
passed
this stuff. I'm
away.
amazed.
Love ELP, yes.
Yeah. All right, so this is Jeff Lohman all the way from Thailand.
All right, Howard, this is a question. The Rolling Stones,
He knows my name.
1966.
Yeah, he knows your
The
name.
ballad is Lady Jane. There's a harpsichord, or at least it sounds like a harpsichord in the background, but it's not the harpsichord, and it's not being played by Ian Stewart, one of their regular keyboardists, and the other one, who was the other one? Nicky Hopkins, not played by Nicky either. Not a harpsichord. What was the instrument, and who was playing that instrument?
Any ideas?
I'll say true.
True. But who is?
I mean, I don't. Okay. Not a harpsichord.
Yeah.
Rolling
I-
Stones, Lady
knew it.
Jane,
Here we go.
Ed Sullivan.
The answer is
On
a
acid.
dulcimer, and it was being played by Brian Jones.
Brian Jones.
Brian Jones. There you go. There you
I'm
go.
terrible.
That's pretty good,
What's
though.
a dulcimer?
It is a, it is like got a bunch of strings and you hit it with hammers. Ding, 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 ding. There's a picture. He had a picture, I think.
What is it? What are the chances of being invited to go to Jeff's house and hang out for? Look
there
at
are
his beautiful house.
very good chances of that if you can get to Thailand. Right now, it's pretty difficult. The slow banjo.
Oh, that's true.
Guignol doesn't like the slow banjo. Are you a fan of the slow banjo? Like people playing the banjo slowly? Or do you like the faster
It
one?
was not meant to be played. Yeah. It's Dueling Banjos is the most famous banjo song.
Oh, we have something from
Ding-ding-ding.
ding 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 ding. Speaking of that, we have Greg Wordle here is telling us about the dulcimer. It's a type of musical string instrument. It is a variety of the zither.
Zither.
Among its forms are hammered dulcimer, freestanding, frequently trapezoidal in shape with many strings struck by handheld hammers. This type of instrument is found in many cultures which have their own name for the instrument. That's cool.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Greg. Really appreciate that. All right, moving
Were you
along.
going to say thank you, Greg? Because I needed to say thank you, Greg. I didn't think you were going to thank him.
I appreciate you thanking him.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Greg. All right, here's Kyle Helf.
Okay, guys, a progressive rock singer of the 1970s who boasted an astounding 5-octave vocal range once said that she realized she had a good voice when she started singing spontaneously along with the vocalizing on the soundtrack of a British TV show. Now, who is the singer who incorporated this kind of singing into her vocal style? What was the name of the TV show? And what was the name of the British progressive rock band in which she was singing?
This is a tough one.
Oh, my God.
Wasn't that cool?
A female progressive rock singer that's a female, because I was thinking Grace Slick, and the octave range, I have no idea.
No, 5 octaves this person had.
I really want to get this one. I know Genesis,
Do you know
when
who
they first started,
Annie Haslam is? Now we're going to find
Genesis had a female singer for a while.
And the answer is Annie Haslam of the Renaissance.
The
And the show
Renaissance.
was The Saint, TV spy series starring Roger Moore, who later followed Sean Connery in the movie role of James Bond. Funny thing about James Bond, they offered me the role of James Bond, and I said, "No thanks, sweetheart. I'm pip cheerio." Guys, I'm so sorry.
Kyle,
I love that. There's so much going
easier
on.
question next time, Kyle.
Yeah.
He's very, very happy.
He is very happy. You know, he's in this commercial for the Apple. There's a keychain fob that you can find your keys with. And there's a hilarious commercial where he dives into the couch. It's brand new. He dives into the couch to look for his keys, and he goes into this mysterious couch land. And then he's like it's really cool. I highly recommend checking that out.
Oh, yeah. Kyle Helf.
Kyle Helf. Oh, he's hilarious. So that was fun. I love the way he ran with it. He really ran with it. Okay, let's see if we can get on to a few more here before the end of the show. This is Guignol.
One of the most brilliant and visionary musicians and composers in the history of rock and roll was known to ask musicians who wanted to be in his band, "What can you do that's fantastic?" Who was this man?
In his band.
Don't be swayed by the Stretch Armstrong. It's totally a red herring, I think. I think I'm gonna move to the next. Oh, I blew it. Frank Zappa. I didn't want to play the Frank Zappa. I didn't want to play the Frank Zappa song too long because they might like ban me from YouTube or something. Gunnell is
and he
too
brought
cool.
Steve Vai in, VAI, and he was an amazing guitarist.
Did he play what with Frank Zappa? Steve Vai?
Yes.
You mean the Crossroads Steve Vai? Stevie Vai?
Yes. Stevie Vai.
Oh my God, that guy was phenomenal. He played the devil in Crossroads. Remember that?
I do not remember that.
With Ralph Macchio.
Solo artist.
You got to check it out.
Frank Zappa.
There's the answer. That was nice, Gunnell. Really appreciate
Gunnell from Seattle.
Gunnell, yeah, that's his kind of moniker, and he changes the spelling of it all the time. Damn it, Joel, you suck at this. Gunnell. I think this is the first time Gunnell has been on the program with his face.
Oh, he likes me then.
Yeah, so it's a big deal. It's a big deal. He needs his glaucoma. I'm really kind of blown away by the Steve Vai playing with Frank Zappa. I think that is a really interesting pair. They seem like polar opposites. Okay, let's see. There's a few more here. Ginny Sykes.
Howard, here's your question. What inspired Bob Dylan to write in 1965 in his song Ballad to a Thin Man these lines? But something is happening and you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones?
Do you,
inspired Bob
Mr.
to write those lines?
What prompted him to write, "Do you, Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones."
What inspired him?
Yeah, who is he talking
to? Who could Mr. Jones be?
It's not like a famous person or anything, I think. It's just what inspired him. This is a tough one, too. It's sort of, it's a little bit vague.
I have every bit of music by Bob Dylan.
You do?
Just so you know. And I'm a very big fan. And I have no idea. Sorry.
Well, you're going to find out and you're going to add to your music trivia right now.
Wow, I'm terrible.
Let's see.
Ding, 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 ding. All right. Here's your answer. Bob Dylan said that Mr. Jones refers to members of the media who are clueless. The first line of the song is, but you walk into the room with a pencil in your hand. He was in the middle of the counterculture, and older generation reporters would ask him stupid questions, and that was his way of responding.
Chuck got that one right. I'm amazed. That was a tough one.
Mr. Jones is a reporter.
He's a reporter.
Thank you, Charles.
Counting Crows.
Can I call you Chuck still, or just Charles? I don't know what you prefer.
Sometimes he's Charles, sometimes he's Chuck. I'm amazed that he got that one. That was a tough one.
You see, Dylan is a lot like, here's two obscure references, Dylan and The Twilight Zone. Both are very good for comedy because they start off with this setup, and they have a middle, and they have a punchline. Bob Dylan has some amazing endings to his songs that you discover, and it's not always funny, but it is eye-opening.
Tells a story.
Its own similar.
Tells a story, and at the end, it does something unexpected. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar to a comedy bit.
Similar to a comedy bit. Yeah. So you're talking structure. Structure.
Yes.
I like it.
But it's
that's what makes him great.
They influenced me.
That's also what makes him great. This is all the way from Australia. Ben Gervich.
Yes, that's right,
AC/DC.
Joel. As you can see, the lunch therapy Australia set, no expenses being spared. Our next question for Howard is about the Contours and their song, Do You Love Me? Now, it was one of the first rock and roll songs to feature what soon became known as the Motown sound. Yet, this 1962 45 wasn't originally released on the Motown label. What label was it released on, Howard?
Decca.
What'd you, Akadaka?
Decca, D-E-C-C-A.
Oh, Decca. All right, that's a good guess. That's a good guess. I like it.
It just popped into my head. I have no idea if I'm right now. Decca Records.
Yes, that's exactly right, Joel. It was Gordy Records, which he ran before he formed Motown.
He told you that was exactly right. He knew you would have the answer.
I knew it. I mean, he knew that I knew it, and he gave me the credit. What was the answer, though? Did you hear it?
Yes, that's
Gordy
exactly right,
Records.
Joel. It was
Oh.
Gordy Records,
Gordy
which he
Records.
ran before he formed Motown.
Wow. Yeah, I was right again. I mean, it's amazing how much
Wait,
I know.
how do I get a lunch therapy microphone like him? He had a lunch
Wasn't that
therapy
great?
microphone.
He's at my
Yes.
he's my remote office in
Where's
Melbourne,
your,
Australia.
Where's your merchandise?
JoelMarshall.com.
Yeah, I want one.
JoelMarshall.com. You'll be getting a T-shirt for
Okay.
this hell that I'm putting you through. Here's Todd
Todd,
Lee.
Todd is angry.
Eric
He's
Clapton
angry.
says that
He's pissed.
in the early days of Cream with Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker, Clapton took Bruce
Here
to
he
see
is.
an amazing new musician who just started playing live in England, and that afterwards, Bruce immediately went home and started writing Sunshine of Your Love, the monster hit song on which Clapton assisted in writing. Who was the musician that Eric and Jack went to see play on that fateful night, and who was his band?
Okay, you got an answer?
The obvious answer is Jimi Hendrix, and I have to stay with Jimi Hendrix because all the greatest guitarists were always impressed by Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, you always
Clapton
hear
was,
that.
Townsend was, George Harrison was. So I'm going to go with Jimi Hendrix. Todd.
And what was the band?
The Jimi Hendrix Experience.
There you go. Let's see.
Could be wrong. I don't know. Woo!
Answer. Jimi Hendrix in his new band, the Jimi Hendrix Experience.
You got it.
The
You
other
got it.
members of which were bassist Noel Redding and drummer Mitch Mitchell.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to ask you one more question.
Ah.
What do they call AC/DC in Australia? Do you know?
No,
have a nickname.
I don't want to say anything dirty. So
They call them Akadaka. At least that's what I was told.
Oh.
Akadaka. It's like a pet name for them. Yeah, Todd, he got yours. All right, getting ready to dance
I got
here.
one.
Because it's definitely time to end the show.
Oh yeah. Oh,
This was super fun. You did
very
a great
fun.
job.
I have trivia for you.
Oh,
but
you do?
Next time I
Next
have some
time.
trivia for
We're
you.
gonna have you on the show next time, and we'll do more trivia because this has been super fun, and we have a lot more to do. We have a lot more work to do, Howard. Being the darlings of comedy. All right, so you're in the dance break. We're gonna experience something. Everybody's gonna want to see this. This band was made for lunch therapy. It wasn't actually conceived for lunch therapy, but I saw this band and I was just like, oh my God, I got to get this on the show because it's so incredible. But they have a lot of hits and these people are super talented and they probably have a lot of tension. I thought they're not going to respond to me if I ask them if I can play on the show. And they got back to me the next day and they were like, Joel, go for it. So we're going to see something incredible here and we're going to dance or move or whatever. Here we go.
Move.
Here we go. All right, we're both in it. These guys are called Music, Travel, Love.
Someone told me long ago there's a calm before the storm, and I know it's been coming for some time now. When it's over, so they say,
This is amazing.
sunny day, and I know shining down like water. Oh yeah, 'cause I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain?
is good. Nice. This is a slow banjo.
Down on a sunny day.
It's mellow. They've got all kinds of songs on their channel, always in a different place. Sue Pascal, so good to see you here.
I know it's been that way for all my time. Still forever on it goes, through the circle fast and slow. And I know it can't stop, I wonder.
So good.
Oh yeah, 'cause I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? 'Cause I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain?
See, appropriate song for Sue there in Texas.
Coming down on a sunny day.
So yeah, go to this channel, check it out. They have all kinds of, hopefully we're gonna play another one on the show sometime. Thanks Howard for being on the show.
Thank you.
And thanks
Loved it.
everybody for joining in at the last minute to send in those questions. And of course, thank you to Tom Silvestri for writing those incredibly difficult questions. And I think that Howard wins a shirt. So you're gonna have to tell me, send me your size and your color and your address and all that stuff, and it's coming. Everybody says thank you to Howard. Howard is truly the darling of comedy.
I'm darling.
All right, we'll see you all later. This has been Lunch Therapy. We'll see you on Friday for an interview with casting director Rick Pagano. So that should be really interesting. Yeah, I know.
Love you,
keeps
Joel.
going. Love you too. See you later, Howard.